My next guest, you know who he is, coming off a huge win last weekend, UFC Vegas 59, finishing Vicente Luque. It's Geoff Neal back here on the program. Jeff, how's it going, man?
Going good, man. How you doing?
Doing great. I did not pick up a knockout win on the weekend like you did, though, man. That was very impressive. I was actually curious, going into the fight, did you know that he had never been knocked out before?
Yeah, I knew that. And it was actual goal. Like, you know what I mean? I was just wanted to finish that fight. You know what I mean? Fun fact is, we worked wrestling the whole camp.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that the plan was to take him down, but I didn't. Like, I tried to take him down one time, and then I just didn't want to waste the energy doing that, and then him get the edge on me striking. You know what I mean? Because he has solid takedown defense, and I'm not a wrestler at heart, so I just didn't want to waste that energy.
Was there anything looking back on the performance that surprised you about him that maybe you weren't expecting in the fight?
No, I mean, it was pretty much on point with everything that I've seen. You know what I mean? I've watched all his fights, and he came out the same person that I expected.
Were you maybe a bit surprised he wasn't a bit more aggressive? It seemed like you were dictating the pace pretty much the whole fight. And, we have seen him in the past, sort of be the aggressor. That really wasn't the case on Saturday. But it's also probably credit to you for taking him out of his element, right?
Yeah, it's because he was just once you get hit with a couple like strong punches, it's going to change your game plan up. And I was never just stationary. I was constantly moving and feinting and faking. You know what I mean? So that kind of took away from his aggressiveness. I never let him get his feet set because he's great whenever he's standing right in front of you and you let him set his feet. Once he sets his feet, then he's going to crack you.
You talked yesterday on the MMA Hour about, obviously feeling yourself. You said you felt yourself sort of in the Ponzinibbio fight, but obviously this was a really, really, really impressive performance. I was curious, though, kind of looking back, do you feel like this is the best you've looked since, say, the Mike Perry fight? Because that was another fight where you went out there, looked impressive, and got it done within the judges' scorecard.
I mean, yeah, that's fair to say. I would say that. Honestly, because after the sepsis thing, it kind of like, you know what I mean, I just didn't feel the same in the cage. You know what I mean? Like the aggression was gone. I was just in the cage just to be in the cage. You know what I mean? It was just weird. It was a weird feeling.
Yeah. And obviously getting it done. Do you feel like that was a statement when, I put the tweet out there, I felt like you really sort of woke the division up and said, hey, I'm still here. I'm still, making that climb to the title. Do you feel like that was a statement when on Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like I honestly do that. It's a big thing. You know what I mean? That's not a easy task to go out there and finish the finisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went out there and did that.
Okay, so you get the finish, hands raised, you do your media. How do you celebrate after a big win like that?
Actually, I didn't do nothing. Just sleep. Sleep and eat.
Well, you must have had some good food, though, right? Because you had to cut weight and all that. Did you get a nice dinner at least after the fight?
No. What did I eat after the fight? What, Wendy's?
There you go. The truth comes out. There you go. It's great. Yeah, so that's good. And just, what did your coach say to you after the fight? Credit to Safe, obviously. You could hear him in the cage, man. He's given, they call him the general for a reason. But what did he say to you after the fight? Because he must have just been so happy with the game plan going, A+ and getting the finish.
Yeah, he was super happy. He was, praised me, congratulated me. He was like, you did a great job. He listened to the coach and yada, yada, yada. But he still took off in the second round. And, he fired me up about that. I still hear that. He called me today, like, you need to get in better shape. You took off on the second round. I'm like, Coach, just let me win.
Let me enjoy this victory. Yeah, exactly.
I love it, though.
I know you're not a big social media guy, but did you get a lot of people messaging you saying not only, congrats on the win, but also I'm sure some people won some good money because I think, you were the underdog and then, you winning in round 3 and then you by knockout would have had to be good odds again because Luque's never been finished in the UFC anyways.
Yeah, I got a lot of messages, like way too many. I tried to respond to stuff and I just gave up. I'm like, it's going to take a whole day, literally a whole day just to get back to everyone. So I just let it go. But yeah, I got an extreme amount of messages and I appreciate it. I love the love.
Anyone win any big money on your fight? Like anything crazy?
No, I didn't see that. People have been telling me they want money. I just didn't get nosy and ask them how much. You
got to show them, you ask for the receipts and then ask, they got to take you out for a steak dinner. That's the rule, right?
5% is the rule. Like you made money off me, I want 5%.
Yeah. And speaking of money, man, getting the bonus, what are you going to be doing with that extra little bit of change?
Straight to taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all of it, do you think? Or are you going to get some to, maybe invest or do anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, after all said and done, my main goal right now that I got the money is to put some money away, pay my taxes, and then we'll see what I have left over.
Let me ask you this as someone who's worked in the restaurant industry. Would you ever want to own a restaurant? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a actual goal of mine. Like when fighting said and done, I do want to open up a restaurant. Just got to figure out the concept and all that. Maybe I'll franchise something out. I don't know, but yeah, that's something I'm gonna do.
I got a name for you, the Steel House. How about that? Hands of Steel, right? You know, play off that.
Yeah,
There we go.
I
I want
like
my
that. Okay.
10% if that happens, just FYI. So,
Hey, all right.
yeah, you got to make it good. And kind of speaking of that, are you going to be going back to work this week or are you going to take some time off?
I'll probably go back next week, but
Okay.
this week is it's the me week. Next week I'm gonna get back in the gym and yeah, keep the weight down. You know.
No, I get it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Last time we spoke, I believe this was either the second last fight in your contract or the last fight. What's the status now of your contract? Because this was a huge win. You got a lot of negotiating power here.
Yeah, I actually re-signed my contract right before the fight.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I got my new contract right before I weighed in. I
Oh,
signed off on
awesome.
that, and then I signed the bout agreement uh, in the locker room right before I fought.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
I'm already on
Congratulations,
the
man.
fight.
Four fight deal, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
What does that mean to you, man? Because again, we talked about the health issues. You know, there's the 2-fight losing streak. I'm sure there was a point where you're like, you know, maybe a bit worried. Just because of the optics of it. What does it mean to now get this contract and come off this big win?
I'm just grateful. You know what I mean? Because my whole career could have went a whole different way. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful that you know what I mean. I'm still in there, still pushing. Got another 4-fight deal. I'm ranked number 8 now. I'm in the top 10. So you know what I mean. Things gonna get better.
With you signing it before the fight, did that give you a little bit of boost going in there, just knowing the UFC's investing in you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. I
Mhm.
really didn't think too much of it, but
Okay.
I'm just signing. I'm like, all right, so I can warm up and focus on this fight. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate it because like you mean re-signing me, paying me more money. You know what I mean, and just how it happened, just like that quick. You know what I mean, and like last minute. You know what I mean. They have faith in me, and I'm glad I went out there on Saturday and showed them that they're putting their money in the right place.
Well, what does it mean as well, just to know the fact that you did it before the fight? Like, you could have lost and they still would have had, you know, they would have re-signed you or whatever. Like, what does that mean, just knowing that they're investing in you as a fighter and knowing that, I'm sure also as well, that you're an exciting fighter. They want to see you compete, right?
Yeah, I'm grateful. You know what I mean. You know what I mean? Because what I wanted to do is like I just want to prove my worth to the company. You know what I mean? Like he fighters complain about money, but are you worth it? You know what I mean? Like that's the you want all this money, but you're having boring fights, or you're not. You know what I mean? So I'm just glad I could prove my worth. You know what I mean? Maybe my next contract I get way more money. You know what I mean? I just got to keep on going out there and do my thing.
You mentioned wanting to fight at MSG. Who wouldn't want to fight there? I imagine Gilbert Burns is still at the top of the list here. Any developments on that, by the way? I mean, you made the call out, kind of, you know, polite call out on Saturday. Has there been any update there?
Yeah, no updates yet. And we just got to see what Jorge wants to do. Like I'm just, what I say is like I don't think he wants to wait that long. If you want to wait until next year, because I seen something that Jorge said. He's like, oh no, maybe I'll fight this year, maybe I fight next year, and
Mhm.
it's like, man, don't worry about Jorge Gilbert. You know what I mean? I'm for sure. Like I'm saying, this year we can make it happen. Don't deal with Jorge the wishy washy ass and just come fight me.
Well, don't you think as well? There's two reasons why I think the fight with you makes a bit more sense. Number one, there's this, you know, I'm kind of old school pro wrestling guy. There's that storyline, right? Luque was, you know, Burns's, you know, good friend, training partner, and all that. So there's that
Yeah.
kind of angle of it too. And the second thing is like, you know, for Masvidal at this point, like, what's the goal of fighting Burns? Like with you, there's a, you know, path to a title, right?
Yeah.
Masvidal's lost twice to the champ, right? So it's kind of tough for him to get back in the saddle and get another opportunity there. So do you feel like in some ways that kind of helps your case?
Yeah, it does. But then you got the money case. You know what I mean? Like
True.
Gilbert. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? Gilbert wants that payday. I'm ranked ahead of Masvidal now, but it
Mhm.
don't mean shit when it comes to how much he'll get paid for fighting Masvidal. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. Because I mean, like fight me. Like if you think you're better than me, you can beat me and then fight Masvidal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why sit there and wait and just like let money just sit in the back pocket? Just like come out here and fight, and then if you win, you can fight Masvidal next year.
If that fight does come to fruition, how are you looking at a fight against Gilbert Burns from a style perspective? Because it's a really interesting matchup.
It's gonna be different. I'm gonna have to change up a few things because he has good striking and he has real great takedowns and he's awesome on the ground. You know what I mean? So I have to push my pace on the cardio and just make sure I keep things standing and you know what I mean? Not get to the point where like I'm so scared of his takedowns that I let him dictate the striking. You know what I mean? Like kind of how I fought like Belal. Like you know what I mean? He had great takedowns, but I never let that affect my striking. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come in with the same game plan, same mindset.
Speaking of Belal, I don't know if you saw his tweet. Kind of, tongue in cheek, nothing like too disrespectful or anything. But he's like, I've always won my rematches and all that. So what did you make of those comments?
I mean, we'll see, because we'll probably bump each other again. Like, we can run it back one day. But
Yeah.
as of right now, me, like, I have no bad blood towards him. You know what I mean? This is a sport. We're in the same division. We actually trained together a few times. You know what I mean? He's cool people. But this is the fight game. You know what I mean? If it comes down to it and we have to fight again, we'll fight again. But because we're not teammates, but we're not enemies either. So
yeah. I asked you this before, but I'll ask you again just because we're on the topic. Do you think he will beat Sean Brady? I mean, that's a really interesting fight. And what I didn't know was Brady apparently had like one nostril he was breathing out of, got that fixed. He got surgery. So people talking about his cardio, that might not be an issue against Belal. We'll see. Who do you like in that fight?
I'm going to address one nostril. I got one nostril. I've been breathing out of one nostril for my whole fight career. Like, look,
really,
I can't breathe out of it. That ain't no excuse for gassing out. He could shut up with that.
Okay.
I feel like Belal is going to take that just because he's going to outpace him. That nostril getting fixed ain't going to change up his cardio. I don't know where he gets that from.
Okay. Well, kind of, on that note as well, have you thought of getting, any sort of surgery to correct that so you can breathe properly?
Nah, not until after fighting. I would hate to get surgery and get my nose broke the next fight.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, you do. You get punched in the face for a living. That's true as well. Okay, another name I'm going to bring up that I haven't heard anyone mention, and he did actually, I think, I saw the tweet. He actually did say, hey, let's do it. Shavkat Rakhmonov. And the reason I bring him up is because I believe he's ranked lower than you at this point, but he did defeat Neil Magny, who you fought and recently. And also, he's got a bit of hype. He's kind of got this Hamzat Chimaev hype in the fact that he's undefeated. Would that a fight that would interest you at all, just from a hype perspective? Like, you beat him, that really, catches some eyes, right?
I mean, if it comes down to it, yeah, I'll do it. But right now, I made my call out, so that's who I want to go for. You know what I mean? If something comes later on down the road, like, you know what I mean, I don't get the fight with Gilbert, and he'll probably still be there if he's not matched up, then yeah, I'll do that. But right now, not really worried about him. Like, I'm kind of irritated me that, like, he just wanted to jump right in, and you know what I mean? I was like, no, I called somebody out. I'm not talking to you right now. But yeah, we'll see.
What have you made of his run? Obviously, he had a really dominant win over Magny in his last fight.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Magny fight, and I also watched when he beat Carlton Harris, I think his name is.
Yeah,
he's solid. He's a tough dude. He's big, he's tall, he's long. He has solid striking, and he's a good wrestler. So that'll be an interesting matchup. You know what I mean? I'll just have to, you know what I mean? Really, cardio is going to be the decider if me and him ever fought. You know what I mean? I got to outpace him. I got to outlast him. If he grabs me, I got to be able to get out of his takedown attempts and just keep the fight where I'm good at.
Are there any other opponents in mind if Burns doesn't come through, or would you be willing to wait for Burns? Let's say he needed more time. Would you be willing to wait for that? Or is there any, if there's like any consolation prize here, who would be the other opponents? Would it be like a Colby? I don't know. Like, who are some other names that come to mind?
I doubt Colby will ever fight me. And not until I get like at least 500,000 followers.
That's true.
But I don't know. I got to talk to my coach about that. But right now, like where I'm at in my sights, and that's where I'm at, and don't have any other ideas right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, two guys I don't think he will be fighting anytime soon, Hamzat Chimaev and Nate Diaz. I know we talked about this last time, but just the fight's getting closer now. I think Chimaev's still a huge betting favorite. Just your overall thoughts on that fight, because it seems like people are counting Diaz out a lot.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Diaz. I just don't see how he's going to win. I want him to win just because it's Nate. You know what I mean? I like him. He's cool, dude. He's grown on me. Like, at first, he was annoying as hell, but like now I really like the dude. And I want to see him pull something out. I love to see a good old fashioned upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you make anything of this, pressure thing? Because really, Chimaev doesn't have much to gain here, other than he's fighting a guy with a big name. But like, he's supposed to win. The title shot's in the horizon. Nate Diaz loses, he's leaving anyways, right? Do you kind of look at that at all as a factor in the fight?
That's exactly, like, Nate Diaz gonna come out there with nothing to lose and just throw up some crazy stuff, and then maybe Chimaev will underestimate him or think something ain't gonna happen, and then Nate Diaz will surprise him and just take the momentum away from him. We'll see. You mentioned it there. You got the week off. You're not going back to work. I imagine get a little bit of training. And what does the rest of the week look like? What is a Geoff Neal victory tour with new contract, new bonus, big knockout win? What does that week look like for you going ahead? Oh, shoot. Maybe just relax at my pool.
You have a pool?
No, my apartment. Hell no.
I was going to say, it's like you're really living good. That's nice. So
soon. Like, by the end of this contract, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have enough money to get a house with a pool. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna spend money on that. But my apartment complex has a pool. I'm gonna be chilling out over there, eating some good food, playing some video games. The usual.
Living the good life. What food do you have on deck? Obviously in Texas, you got great barbecue. What's on the agenda? Any spots you like going to? Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't say because I don't. People. Trying to get your autograph or something. But what's on the menu food wise?
I don't know. I'm just gonna because I don't really go out to eat that much. I haven't since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I've been Uber eating everything. You know what I mean? So okay. I'm gonna make it a point to get my ass up out the house and go out to like places and actually eat. You know what I mean? So I don't have anything in mind, but I'm gonna find somewhere. I've been craving oxtail for some reason.
Okay, I've never had that. It sounds really delicious.
It's pretty good. Like
as someone who works in the restaurant industry, does that make you not want to go to a restaurant because it's kind of like you know what I mean? Like if you work in something, usually you don't want to be around that off hours, right?
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. You know what I mean? And then I'm kind of like antisocial, so I don't like to go to places that are super busy. You know what I mean? If I go to a restaurant, I like it when it's like kind of like slow and dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't like my server running around like I need water and I'm sitting there for like 10, 20 minutes waiting on some water.
Now, this pool you mentioned in the apartment complex, do people recognize you at all? Like, did people know that you just like killed a man on the weekend or knocked him out, I should say, Vicente Luque? Like, does anyone know? Do people come up to you or anything?
No, I mean, I haven't been there since after the Luque fight. So who knows? But usually when I go there, nobody recognizes me, which is cool. I like it. You know what I mean?
It's good. Keep it under the radar.
Yeah.
And my last question, are you still getting people adding your dad to Facebook? Is that still a thing?
No. He changed his name. It's Ed Neal.
Okay, so good.
It's not happening no more.
Yeah, because people were adding your dad thinking it was you because you guys have the same name. Is that it?
Yeah. Same name, same first name, last name, different name.
There you go. Geoff, thanks for doing this. You got some pool time. You got some barbecue. You got a bunch of stuff on deck. Appreciate you taking the time. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Just want to thank my team, Fortis MMA. You know, we're doing big things. We're coming up. Everybody's winning these fights, and we're winning against these top teams. And you know what I mean? We're one of the top teams in the world right now, and I love it.